So this is Led Zeppelin, Over the Hills and Far Away, and great song to play on the guitar. They do 12-string guitar, I think, and maybe some other acoustics. It works well with open chords on the guitar, really easy hammering, tough to mimic how good he is. On the ukulele, it's not as easy or clean or as crisp. So, but I still do it because I love the song. So I'm just going to show you how I do it. It took me a while to figure out some of the hammering, and then you really just have to cheat a fair amount. So this key G and the hammering, but because the hammering uses the pinky, I'm actually doing a different position for the G. So rather than normal G, doing like a B minor position, 2nd fret, crushing the bottom 3 strings, and then middle finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. It's still G chord, but you're just playing it different, and that allows you to hammer and pull off like that. So that's the position for the G. So the intro, I'll play the intro part real quick, and then I'll show you the hammering. Sorry, I messed it up. Keeps going around and does some variations. So that's how it starts. Again, G position, that G chord with that weird position, and we're going to hammer on the 5th fret, second string on the pinky. So like that. And when you're hammering here, try and be crisp, and you can even pull off if you're good, a little bit, and that gives a little more volume to it. And then you go basically let go of the middle finger, and then you're playing the top finger. And then you're doing the middle finger again in that position, and then strumming. So I do slow. There you go. So that's that first one. Then the next one is, so do it again. So open, 3. So that's the beginning part. Now we're getting to a trickier part, easier on the guitar, not easy here. So I'm going to play the chords. 2nd fret, 1st string, open. So 2nd open, kind of pick off, and then 3rd fret, 2nd string, and then your D position. So top, then you're playing the 3rd string, and then strumming the D chord. So it's really tough to do fast. So a lot of cheating involved here. So I'll do it again. So it's not as cool on the guitar as it is on the guitar. It just doesn't sound right. But you just go through it and stay on rhythm, and then your mind kind of fills in the blanks. So keep it simple. Do what you can. I can do that again. B flat, hold, then you're sliding up to C, then you're repeating. Then you're going D, 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 I'm sorry, E, 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 D, D, E, E. Then you go on G chord again, and you can see I went to the normal G position here just because it's easier, and then I switched. Then G, D chord, C, G, G and D, I'm sorry. And now we're going to start the whole sequence over again. But the next time we do that whole sequence, we end on this part right here, then we're going to start going to this high part. A, G, and So that goes 4 times. So I'm going to do one more time, and then we're going to get into that high position. And the cool thing about this is that it actually sounds pretty close to the high thing that they do on their thing, which is always fun. So one more cycle. Now we're going up to that high A, D. I'm sorry, A and then G. A, G. A, G. A, G. Now we're going to do that power chord stuff. This is the funnest part. So that's what we're doing there. And so at least I show you the A, G, A transition part. And remember, A is just 2 frets up from G. So, and then when we go into this power chord, that's basically G, D, D, A, G. Then goes A, G. Then you repeat that. G, D, G, D, A, I'm sorry, G, D, D, A, G. It goes into another part I'll show you, but just remember, you can see I'm doing up strums on that to stay on that rhythm. It's just powerful, and it's just natural. The up strum is natural, but if you're not comfortable with that, you can do 2 down strums. But you can see that's a little stiffer. So this is. But the challenge with this, and particularly when you're playing in real time. Challenge with that is you have to be quick on there's not much time for the chord changes, so you got to be fast. So you just, whenever something like that happens, you start slow and then you start going faster. So I'm doing down, up, G, and I'm chucking in the middle. You can hear that A, G, G, D, D, A, sequence, which I'll just do the notes for you, and then I'm going to show you where I do chords. And this is where we're cheating, but if you just stay on rhythm and kind of hit it with confidence, then it feels all right. So it goes D, 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 E, 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 D, 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 C. So that's basically the 3rd string between the open, 2nd, and 4th fret. 4th is E, 2nd D, open is C. So D, 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 E, 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 D, 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 C. D, 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 E, 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 D, 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 C. And then we go into the chords again. G, D, D, A, G, A, G, A. Now I'm going to do this thing again, but now I'm going to show you what I do where you can do the bar chords a little bit and actually fill it in rather than just being in a thin one note. You can actually do the chords. So D, 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 E, D, 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 C, D, 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 E, D, 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 C, G, D, D, A, G, A, G, G, D, D, A, G, A, G, D, 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 C, D, 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 E, D, 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 C. Now this is the last sequence in this part where it goes G, D, D, A, G, D, D, A, and E. G, D, A, I'm sorry, G, D, D, A, E. And you'll remember remember the parts because you play one cycle through, and the next two cycles are with the high guitar solo. So it goes G, D, D, A, E. Then it goes F sharp, B. It's just back and forth between those two chords, and that's I really don't really play that actually on the uke, just because that's really where they're doing all these awesome guitar and bass riffs. So that's pretty much it. So that gets you through the main part of the songs and all kinds of variations. The rhythm is really tough to get. So if you actually manage to get this timing down, the chords and all that stuff, then you can try and play along with the song, and you'll hear the rhythm is just a little bit off. You know, he does it so perfectly, but it's just very difficult to mimic. Just do your best you can and stay on target when you can and get synced up. And then at the end, it ends with this echo acoustic guitar, and that's really cool. And so if you're just playing around and you want to end it yourself, you can do that. It doesn't sound as cool, but you're basically doing that same like an intro riff. It's just not doing the chords. So just hanging like that, and then ending on C, or just open right there. Do it again. And then you can go down to C, B, B flat, and then slide up to C, and then end on a G. So basically, you can do those little picking as many times as you want, and then you do this chord transition. Sorry. Now we're going to do the chords. C, B, B flat, slide up to C, and then end on G. And I do a little slide, it just sounds so nice. And you're doing this nice and slow and just nice and easy, so. That's it. So takes a lot of practice to actually get this down at the right pace. And the main thing is, if you are able to get the chord changes and some of the picking down and actually get to the tempo they actually play, just try and keep on rhythm. If you screw up, just keep going and don't stop and try and fix it. Just try and get on cycle, and that's really the key. So there you go, Led Zeppelin.